Hello, the topics that are going to be presented in this video is for the work plan elements established for developing the Landscape Works Manual of NEOM. The topics of this presentation are the manual list of contents, the manual first draft, list of available data, folders of available data, workflow chart, project task list, manual time schedule. The list of manual contents are established on the preliminary understanding of the client requirements to develop a guidebook for all landscape products and services that are required by NEOM. The list of contents are in 6 sections, starting with introduction, tender elements, landscape elements, external works, utilities, specifications, and bill of quantities. Introduction is covering all the contents of the report and the purpose of it. Then the tender elements consist of external work scope of services, study, design, tendering, execution, PMI standards, operation maintenance. Landscape elements include list of plants in catalogs, list of hardscape materials, list of decoration elements in garden furniture, water features and fountains. As well, there are signage, golf course, fertilizing system, pest control system. For external works utilities, we have irrigation contents and methodology, controller system, low voltage related to garden lights and decorative light elements, composite between external works and other utilities. Specifications are covering soft scope, hardscape, structure, MEP and irrigation, environmental, green walls, as well as garden lights, garden furniture, wooden elements, road and marking, signage, and fertilizers. The BOQs are for landscape, structure, MEP. For landscape, we have architectural, softscape, hardscape, signage and wayfinding, public arts. For structure, we have civils, site works, natural stone specialist, soil, construction, aggregates. For MEP, we have electrical and solar cell, plumbing, irrigation, mechanical. This is a walk through the first draft of the manual report, where contents are provided to some items. Also, remarks are provided to some other items. The introduction is almost provided as a first draft. Then section 1, which is for the tender elements, all of its contents are provided for all the subtopics. As we move on to item 2 for the landscape elements, the elements of the landscape will be provided in terms of catalogs for plants, trees, shrubs, and so forth, down to lawn and native plants. The same for hardscape materials. The catalogs will be provided as appendices for marbles, stores, down to mosaic. Then the list of decoration and garden furniture, the same. And for some other items here, we can say that they are available or not available. The available ones will be improved to be good deliverable for the pertinent item, and the ones that are not available, that needs to be created from scratch. Here for this item, fertilizing system, there are some contents provided. Pest control, the same. External work utilities, specifications are all available. For the BOQs, this is the area where there will be pricing for all these BOQ items, either landscape, structure, MEP. As we have seen in the first draft of the report, some items are provided with contents. Moreover, for this project, we went through our database and our previous projects and references to identify the documents that could be related to the contents of this report. Once the documents were identified, we had to match the documents with the related manual items and got them in folders having the names of the same report items. For easy handling, this table was developed to relate each document to the corresponding manual report item. The left side of the table is for the manual report items in terms of topics and subtopics. And the right side of the table is for the folders and subfolders where the documents are provided. This will enable the content developer to quickly deal with the documents so that to come up with the required contents. I'd like to highlight that some of these documents perfectly match the requirements of the manual report items, and some other documents may not be enough, and the developer has to work on completing the required contents. Meanwhile, it becomes clear which items are with no available data, and pertinent contents have to be created from scratch. Now, it's time to discuss the process of content creation of the manual report. The process here is divided into three phases. One is the classification of documents. The second phase is for the development of the manual report contents. And the third phase is for the compilation of all developed contents. That's the first phase, where we have to identify all the contents required for the manual report. And the second phase is after identifying what is available and what is not available of documents, so it's the time for development. And the third phase is for compilation of the manual report contents. So the first start is for review the contents of the available data, which is done as presented in this video. And then we have to determine which file contents matches a manual item. And meanwhile, we have to consider starting with define the manual list of contents, which is already completed. And then we have to develop the first draft of the manual document, again, which is presented in this video, to end up with determining which file contents matches a manual item. So first phase we can consider is completed, subject to validation by the team of developing the content report. We move to the second phase, which is for the creation of the contents, as we call it, development phase. We have three types of documents as a result of the phase one. The first type is file content good for a manual item. So we need to review and validate the file content. The second type of file content will be not enough for a manual item. So what we need is to improve the file content, then validate this file. The third type of file content will be that needs to be developed for a manual item. So what we need here is to create the file content, then validate. Now it's time to move to phase number 3, where we have to assign the file content to each specific manual item, then edit the file content and apply standard page format for all the report or the manual. Then we need to copy the file content to the manual document, which is the master first draft of the manual report. Or we need to add it as an appendix if it's like the catalog and similar files that are good to be added as appendix. After that, we need to compile the manual content and its appendices. Then we run comprehensive review, editing, and proofreading. And then we process the final validation so that it's good to be submitted. As we know now what is required to be done, assigning the team of developing the manual report contents is next. So we need architectural, mechanical, irrigation, environmental, plumbing, electrical, structural, civil, and others for developing this manual. In the end, we need to come up with a successful team of this report. As we have the team members assigned for this project, we have this task list so that we can assign the owner of each document development so that we can start monitoring and controlling the progress of the report. And each team member is aware of what is required, starting with the contents of all the items, including the bill of quantities. As we identify the content, materials, and team required for developing the manual report, it's time to develop a time schedule to implement this project. This template is for scheduling the start and finish of each work package as per the project time frame. As per this project lifecycle, we have almost completed the initiating phase, the planning phase, and executing of the first phase of the project, which is collection of information and classifying them. Thank you, and I hope this presentation is covering the required information